I'm just tactical size. Good afternoon. I'm blessed to be speaking on behalf of these wonderful men and women sitting before you, the LVMPD Academy Class of October 2017, dedicated to Officer Trevor A. Nettleton, P number 9633, who through his actions in the last moments of his life, modeled for us the will to keep fighting until he knew those he loved were safe and protected. Thank you all for joining us on this special day. This has been a long journey, a journey that started not on day one of the academy, but from the moment we decided to complete an application to become a police recruit. The obstacles that followed included scheduling and showing up to testing events while juggling the busy schedules of current employers and the lives of our families, and digging up information from years in our past that we had long forgotten, and we prayed that we had enough good contacts that would give us a good recommendation for this job. Then came the phone call from Human Resources, stating that we had been accepted into the academy. Many people could have denied the opportunity to accept the position into the academy because of the events on October 1st. But thankfully, courage existed in these men and women before we even knew it was our motto. We learned in the academy to work together as a team, and it was teamwork that facilitated our transformation into police officers. There were officers who came in during their days off to be role players and graders for our tests. Thank you for the patience and pain tolerance to deal with our handcuffing. And thank you to the adjunct instructors for EVOC in the range. Thank you to the officers who came into contact with our family members and gave words of encouragement when our family member said, "My son or daughter is in the academy." Your words of encouragement were greatly received. Our leadership that we had to guide us and teach us was absolutely phenomenal. The amazing part was that even when we did have changes in leadership, the quality of leadership never changed. Usually, on our runs, our TAC officers are spread out around our formation, one in the front to set the pace, one off to the side to supervise us as a whole, and one in the back to make sure us non-runners of the group had the motivation to keep running. I remember on our last run, we had some TAC officers from other academy teams join to help us, so our TAC officers were running in the front of the formation. I remember looking up and seeing them run together, side by side, with a look on their faces of focus and drive. The sight was breathtaking, which made it a little hard considering we were on a run. But nonetheless, it embodied everything that we had trained to become: strength, determination, dedication to the job, and teamwork with your partner right at your side. To the Orange Team TAC staff, TAC Officer Reese, although we don't want to admit it, thank you for the homework that increased our proficiency and for teaching us the defensive tactics that will allow us to keep fighting through it. Rock and roll, sir. TAC Officer Mendez, as corny as they were, your jokes made us laugh. And we will always strive for that trifecta as we continue to grow as officers. TAC Officer Lead, I'm not sure if some of us will ever be ready for that run, but we will make sure to stay hydrated and have a good meal for when that run or pursuit does come. And we will always continue to become stronger, faster, smarter, and be the very best that we can be. You know we will. TAC Sergeant Sims, you came to us in the middle of our academy, but you brought with you your passion and determination for the job and to train the best officers for this department, and you even shared with us your own personal story of courage. Thank you. Lieutenant Bricker, your promotion was bittersweet for us because we didn't want you to leave us, but we knew you were moving on to bigger things. We are so grateful to have had you as our TAC sergeant. Your talks at the beginning or end of the day would reignite that fire within us that kept us from giving up and ringing that darn bell. To our families and friends that supported us on the home front, to the friends that allowed us to vent our frustrations and for showing us what it's like to be a normal person again. To the significant others who packed our lunch and or picked up our dry cleaning because we were either too tired or had a long DR to write that night. To our kids, who didn't get to see as much of mom or dad as they were used to, but they're proud because mom or dad were training to become police officers. Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts. Last, but certainly not least, thank you to the community of Las Vegas and Clark County. All of this is only possible because of you and your continued support. And because of that, you have every right to expect the very best from us. As a born and raised Las Vegas native, I am proud to say that these men and women will be on our streets, protecting us and serving our community. Orange, to say that this has been a long and hard road would be an understatement. I believe that we will always have a love-hate relationship with the incline of the street that is Isaac Newton. Hearing the phrase, "on your faces," will probably still incite some anxiety. We've been through a lot together. We've grown to care for each other, hated each other, but then come to love each other again. Despite the hardships and our personal feelings about each other, we learned to become a family. We had each other's back during the first couple of months when all we could remember was a lot of yelling and not being able to get into the TAC office. We had each other's back when we didn't know what real pain was until we got OC sprayed. And to answer any burning questions, yes, I did eventually get over that wall. We had each other's back when we lost some of our classmates, but we urged them not to give up on their dream of becoming a police officer, because they're still family to us. We had each other's back when we went through the longest and most stressful week of testing that is packed. When moments in life become rough or hard, please remember the moment on the mountain where we looked upon the Las Vegas Valley, which symbolized everything we've been through together and how we will continue to get through the tough times together as we fulfill our duty to be partners with the community. This is the moment where we transition from the small family that we learned to be to the big family that is the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Thank you.